I am super excited to talk about Biden's massive announcement from the White House. Or was it that massive? I spoke today to Tammy, aka the Cannabis Cutie, Liz Udell, and Kimmy Tan about their thoughts on what's going to happen now that Biden has put out there that people who use and possess cannabis should not be in jail. I'm here with Liz Udell, and I wanted to get some of your quick thoughts on the Biden announcement. I think that it's really crazy what's going on, and, you know, or maybe it's not that crazy and it's just absolutely nothing and nothing is going to come from it. But I do think it's cool that at least, you know, it is a topic that's being pushed to this like global stage, which, you know, has been very contentious. So I would love to know, what do you feel like is a pro and a con of this announcement, and maybe especially the timing of the announcement?
Oh, yeah. You know, timing, we're not oblivious. We know the midterms are coming. That is how I think politics has been for a while now, you know, self-serving agenda, which is
What?
like, yeah, hate to break it to you. But so timing, I totally understand. We have been pushing this for a while. We got minimal we wanted. You know, whether you agree it's small or it's large, there is movement. Biden acknowledged it. We've been begging him for years to acknowledge it because he did in his campaigning. That is a very small win.
Yeah.
Like, he actually acknowledged, and he gave us like a plan. I've known and realized the entire time when talking about federalization that there were only about, you know, 7,000 that could be pardoned, because at the end of the day, it always does come down to the states.
Absolutely.
No such thing as blanket politics, right? Fine print. Everything is a case by case basis. Hopefully the ones that are eligible get help soon, and it seems like they are. So that's another pro. It seems fast acting. They already said we're going to start next week.
Yeah.
So I'm glad there's movement. And then just the con. The con is the governors. Like, if it's up to the states. Like,
I know. It's been up to the states.
Yeah. So a pro is he's pushing the governors, which he's never done before. I think places where they have medical and they're red won't, which is hypocrisy. So, yeah, I just think the con is on the local level, we're still dealing, you know, with some.
The powers that be.
Yeah, I'm really like not self-serving our interests. It's weird. They don't read, like, they don't care, they don't understand. Like, DeSantis is a veteran and he's against veteran medical cannabis.
I mean, and then what, in Minnesota, was it they like kind of accidentally legalized some edibles, and that's been like a really weird gray area, and it was because they came out and said they literally didn't read it all the way. They weren't fully informed. And so, you know, I think that really just adds to the conversation of ultimately, like, who is in power and why, and maybe we should like think about that heading into November. Get out there, go
this is
vote.
Very important. Like, our rights are on the line.
Exactly. I feel like a lot of people do. I even sometimes downplay that because you can feel really powerless, especially on the local level. Those are the people who will help push policy forward that you are in favor of. This was Biden also putting the task to the people. He's like, hey, like, if you want people in power that are going to push policy forward for legalized weed, you need to go vote. Yeah. You have to put the people in power that will do that for your state. And that was a little bit of a cop-out, but it is up to us. When it comes to, like, you know, commercials, for example, like, when do you think we'll see a national weed commercial?
Yeah.
Like, when will Hulu have weed commercials?
Hulu probably never, because they're Disney.
You think
But
never?
Like,
okay.
Well, Disney's having their first R-rated movie with like Deadpool, so that, you know, took for a long time. Like, basic cable will have it for sure. They can have advertising, even if it is national, if it's federally legal. If it's federally legal, sure, we can tackle this like any other 21 any other 21 plus.
Yeah. Well, and what would the parameters be?
Yeah.
Like someone will have to set forth those guidelines
Yeah.
and say, oh, well, you can't show plants, or like there can't be paraphernalia in it or something like that. I'm really curious to see how that ultimately plays out. And then even like on social media, like will Facebook and Instagram finally say okay? Will TikTok finally say okay?
Well, I mean, how they treat CBD, no, CBD is fairly legal and they hate it. So I feel like, but they also they do crack down on alcohol, which I guess is like the same. They do crack down on the sex workers. So like they have their own issues, but I like what I really need. I need the creativity for if we're gonna go national stuff. It totally needs to be stepped up. Like I need Ketchum to get in there. I need Edelman.
I think it would be Can. Honestly, I think they're gonna be. That's my prediction.
For what?
For a first national commercial.
Oh, they have the celebrity backing.
That's what I'm saying. They have the money. Like they do TikTok advertising and I've seen things of that nature. I think it's going to be Can. All right. Well, do you have any other comments or thoughts or, anything that you think we'll see with this new possible momentum forward?
I think everyone was really excited yesterday when it dropped, and now today people are kind of like trying to find the fine print, but I think it still is, again, a step in the right direction.
The win is having momentum forward and what people are now going to do with that.
Yeah.
And so, you can sit online all day and complain, but no, like you were just given this little bit of momentum. Use it. Call your local, representatives.
Things are going in the right direction for you.
Yes. Let them know that you agree with this and you want to see more of this from your local representatives.
Yeah.
I think that is what we need to be doing is even if it's a nothing burger in essence, and if he doesn't address this again, it is within our power to move forward with this. But thanks for joining. Always. And we'll stay on top of this and see, what are some other people's thoughts? What could happen? Circle back.
Yeah. Closing the loop.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. Welcome, Kimmy Tan.
Hi.
All right. I am so happy to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here, girl.
And we just celebrated 420.
Yes.
We made it.
At 422.
It was 422. But
422 is 422.
For two.
Yeah, for two.
So that's fine.
We did
And I wanted to get just some of your quick thoughts on what Biden said and his statement about weed. Well, he said marijuana, which I thought was also like interesting language.
Right.
But that's okay. And so at least he's talking about it.
Yes.
Which is something, but I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, I think it's definitely good. You're right that it's, it's being talked about at least. I do agree the verbiage, given the history, we all know why we say cannabis instead of marijuana.
Right.
But I definitely feel like it is a step forward. I do have my questions, as everyone does, my speculations, and it's a lot of like, we'll see. We see you, we agree with you, but now let's see. I think, well, firstly, it's a great, first step because as we know, black and brown communities have been the ones who have been affected the most by, the laws against cannabis, restricting getting jobs, housing, all of that stuff. And so this is definitely going to be a huge step forward. And first of all, he said he wanted to pardon small offenses.
So
possession?
Simple possession.
Yes.
And so basically that means that you have enough on you for you, but not enough to distribute. But also I really want to say that that's different per state.
Yes.
Right? I mean, I have to look that up, but I feel like that's different per state, but it's also so he's only saying on a federal level. So I also just want to have a better understanding of what is actually happening and who and how many actual people are affected by this and will have their records expunged. So I think that's my first biggest question is like how many people for real are going to be impacted by this.
Yes. Yeah, you're right. It's like if he would be pardoning for this very, very specific thing, does that also encompass like people who have been in prison for years? Do they get some kind of restitution? Is it only this one specifically? What if you had let's say 27 grams on you, and then an ounce would be considered, so but you're still doing time.
What is simple possession then? Like, how much is that? And then also, like, what about if you grew? Because he doesn't say anything about like cultivation.
Yeah.
So that's interesting too. So I'm wondering, like, you know, was that language super specific? Like, what are the, you know, the fine lines there?
Exactly. And also going back to, you know, each individual case is different. And like, would he be extending it to, oh, at the time that you were arrested, this was, I don't know, this was considered to be the most, or the amount, and now it's different, or you know what I mean? Like, if it's really there or not. A lot of people have been saying, you know, on Twitter and, you know, on social media, and you know, have been saying like, we'll see,
we'll see, totally, because it's election season, and so like, is there going to be any action backed up by what you said? Because we saw, like, cool, you said it,
right,
but now, like, okay, what's next?
Right. And also, like, really, like, what's the catch? I feel like everyone's thinking, yeah, because like it's no secret that in American politics, no matter what side you're on, it always boils down to money. And you know, certain laws are made because it makes so and so people like a certain amount of money when
get that cash.
So it's like, what's I guess in it for him?
Yeah,
you know,
totally.
And, you know, they're not trying to be a negative,
no,
a negativist, and being like, because this is a positive thing. This is a positive thing.
It can be both.
It can be both. It can be both.
And I think a lot of people are having trouble with the bothness of it, because like it is shady, but it's also like cool, like we agree with this,
right?
But like also do it though.
Yeah.
And like, what else?
And does this mean how is this going to affect, let's say, like the price of flowers everywhere too? You know what I mean? Like,
what's gonna happen state by state?
Yes, in California when we were $2.15. Oh, there were certain, it was almost a little bit more enjoyable back then in some kind of ways. Like, a lot of people were saying that don't vote no on Prop 64 because it's just a guise for like under legalization, when really it really has changed a lot. Like, you know, now dispensaries can't sell any edibles that are over 100 milligrams, and you can't imitate.
So much has changed.
So much has changed, and the price has definitely gone
totally
up. So that I feel like has driven people to not really buy from dispensaries and go a little bit more.
Absolutely,
you know?
Totally.
So I'm just wondering, is this a way to, you know, bring the price up on cannabis? Because I mean, it's no secret that the popularity has risen, and so is the government just being like, oh, I want a piece of that.
Totally. Yeah, they're like, wait a minute.
Wait. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, and who knows? Maybe they're gonna change. You know, like, that's what we said. We'll see, because who knows if there's gonna be new, like, laws that are gonna say, oh, like, and so the a personal amount is a gram. Okay, so if you have anything more than a gram, you're going to jail. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
No, establishing, like, because every state is totally different.
Right. What
and
does this mean for? Like,
what then? Like,
then? We're lucky because we live in California.
I know. And the weed is so good here. Oh my God. Like, and that's going to be something too. Like, so many people are saying when there's interstate commerce, I mean, like, wink, wink, but like, you know, when there is interstate commerce, and like, people are going to go crazy because they'll be able to get stuff from California, and like, it really is some of the best weed in the world. Now, granted, I'm sure like internationally, like, people have said like, Oh, there's there's tons of places to try great weed just for people who want to just start shit.
Oh, yeah.
But
absolutely.
But like, come on, some of the best weed is grown here.
Oh, yeah.
And people from everywhere will want to try that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I remember when I was living on the East Coast, you know, if there were if homeboy was he got $65 eights, but it's from Cali.
Everybody's from Cali
though.
Oh,
it's from
stop,
Cali
stop,
though. Like,
stop.
It's that fuego.
Dude, okay, everyone it's from Cali. It's from LA.
Cali. Oh,
it's from up north. It's from up north. Like in Cali, like it's from Humboldt. You would just be like, hell yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pay that
like
premium.
You can smell it. You can smell it.
Right.
It's that gas.
It's that gas. Oh man. I mean,
it was in like a plastic bag, a sandwich bag or some shit.
Oh yeah,
and,
some
like,
fuckboy packaging, you know. And it would always be a little dry, but that's okay though. Because it's from Cali.
Sometimes it'd be like it was squished.
It's
in my pocket.
It would always be squished and
like,
dry.
what are you doing?
Oh my god, my
Oh
my god,
so funny.
One time on when I was living on the East Coast, I got weed that was given to me in like the little sauce cups that you get at like a restaurant, like the little dipping sauce cups with the lid on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, like people are really getting creative out here.
Yeah, that is really, man. I have to think about like what's the craziest thing I've gotten something in. But okay, on that note though, thank you so much for stopping by and letting me know your thoughts.
Of course.
And
Anytime.
also smoking up.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll chat with you next time and we'll see what happens.
Yes, and we'll see. We'll see.
Thanks. All right. So, hi everyone. Welcome. I am here with Tammy, aka the Cannabis Cutie, and I am very excited to hear what you think about Biden's statements from yesterday.
Ooh, mixed emotions.
Mixed emotions.
First,
tell me more.
The pardoning of people who have federal simple possession crimes. Cool, but that's less than 10,000 people, 6,500 roughly. So, I mean, I feel like we could have done a little better, but still, that's a lot more than we've ever done.
Right.
And then nobody's in jail for simple possession from the federal government. So
that is what I was about. Because isn't there kind of some confusion there of like how many people this will actually
6,500
affect?
Yeah.
Wow.
Trafficking, distribution, those charges are not.
Yeah. What about if you
pardoned.
like cultivated it or
Correct.
like
intent to distribute?
So
yeah. And then governors, like I'm worried for people who live in states like Texas, like Florida, like Alabama, Mississippi. Their governors are not going to budge. Not going to budge. But what I do think that this is a great opportunity for people to advocate for themselves.
Absolutely.
Right? They're politicians who they pay taxes to represent them. These politicians have to sit with you. Explain to them what this has done to your life. And in comparison to the crime that was committed, which was what? Smoking? What crime was committed? Where's the victim?
Exactly.
How many police officers can honestly say that women are calling 911 because their husband smoked a joint and now he won't get off the video game?
No, exactly.
Battered women typically are calling in about their drunk or intoxicated on something else spouses, not cannabis. So I think we just need to reevaluate. And this move is kind of hopefully a come to Jesus moment of what are we actually doing here? Like, is this making sense? What purpose does it serve?
Right.
And then be honest with ourselves and take action.
I agree. And, I overall, from today, it seems like a lot of people are just in the wait and see vibe, which sucks because I feel like we've been there. And on the one hand, it's awesome to see some kind of momentum forward. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, it's election season. Yeah. That's no secret. Yeah. And the timing is super suspicious. and where's the actual like action from this. But I think it is up to each of us individually to really see that through.
Yeah. And of course, midterms, like we know that this is the game. We can't be upset when every time they play it.
Yeah.
Every time it's time to go vote, that's when all the dirt is being dragged out. That's when all these political wins are happening. It is literally their same script, different cast. Like nothing is different. You know, the Republicans, the Bloods, they're, you know, doing their thing, and the Crips are doing their thing. Like but genuinely it's not for the good of us. It's for wins. It's sport. Yeah. We're playing sports here.
Totally.
That's all it is. They're trying to get their wins.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you think that we're going to see any level or kind of movement before the elections, or do you think this was kind of it?
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what their play is here.
Yeah.
Obviously, they knew people were going to look into what this actually means. 6,500 people. I think we were all hoping. I think in our minds, we were like, wow, that's probably like 100,000 people. And then you find out it's 6,500. You're like, wait a minute. So maybe there's some kind of other strategy. Maybe Biden's administration is already working with governors who are drafting legislation to pardon simple possession at the very least. So I'll be anxious to see what that is.
Yeah, me too. Well, thanks for giving me your thoughts. And I hope we see some positive momentum forward.
Yes. Deschedule.
Thanks, everyone. All right. Thank you for being here. And I will see you all next week. I am so glad that I got to have all of these wonderful ladies drop by the studio today. I would love to know what you all think is going to happen next. Do you think that we'll see any level of movement before or around the elections? I mean, this could just be so much of nothing just to drive people to vote, which, I mean, go vote. I would really love to see some substance behind these words. Like, where is the action? So go vote, make sure you're registered, make sure you're informed, and thank you for joining another episode of Send Us Flowers. I can't wait to do more things like this where I get to have a few different people by and see what they think, whether it's breaking news or new products and things that we have to taste test. We get to see a variety of thoughts and opinions. So thanks for joining, and I will see you all next time on Send Us Flowers.